Hello, Cassie Brown here. I am thrilled to welcome you to the Brace for Impact podcast. I've been incredibly blessed to work with and coach some of the top entrepreneurs, CEOs, and marketers in the industry. And do you know the one thing that they all had in common? They didn't wait for the perfect time, but hit the ground running. They learned to see opportunity in motion and just leap. I created this podcast to help other entrepreneurs own their calling, expand their influence, get uncomfortable, embrace the growth of the journey to leave an impact on the world around them. For those who are ready to stop playing it small, to pick up the mantle of contribution that our clients in the world so desperately need. If that's you, then get ready to brace for impact as I share with you the top strategies, real truths, and hacks to crash through the obstacles and arrive in alignment of integrity, impact, and income. It's time to initiate the ripple effect of change. Hello, Cassie Brown here, and I am so excited about what we're going to be diving in this episode. It's a continuation. I briefly mentioned on last episode that I was going to share with you the principles of B.R.A.V.E, and that's just exactly what we're going to do, but also pre-frame one of the interviews that we have coming up with Preston Anderson. So let's get started. All right, so last episode on my Make Marketing Great Again rant, I mentioned one of my biggest breakthroughs came through sharing a presentation that has become one of the cornerstones that I include in every core teaching, whether I'm speaking at a conference or a retreat or working with a client. It's just automatic. It's part of that foundational pieces that is just always appearing in my work. So B.R.A.V.E is a concept, is an acronym that I had incorporated last year. It originated in the beta group that I did for the first group coaching program. And I needed something that would help me summarize where I wanted them to dig deep internally and be able to see the vision of where we were going with that program. So I came up with the acronym of B.R.A.V.E, which is B.R.A.V.E, and it's super simple, but impactful. And in this instance, and it can be applied internally and externally, but I always start internally because who we are and the mindset and the way that we show up really affects everything that we say and do create in our personal lives and business and beyond. So the B stands for believe, and you have to completely believe in yourself and the product and the results that you are sharing. You have to have that unfaltering belief that what you have to offer will improve someone's life. R is real. It's the realistic outlook and planning. Like, we are not going to go out there and create an offer and within 3 hours just be rolling in the cash. It's the realistic and timelines and the reality that it's going to take a lot of work and that you're going to commit to really actually just living in that reality, managing your expectations and also managing the expectations of others. So that is B and that is R. Now we're to the A. A is for just complete authenticity. That real and raw, authentic you. And authenticity is a word that really gets thrown around a lot, and it's actually gotten watered down. And even hearing it, you may think, oh gosh, not again. But the authenticity that I am talking about here, it's the real, true core of who you are. And this is important because there are some people who can turn it on and turn it off. Who they are in front of the camera or in front of a group or speaking, or they have to put on a front. It's completely different than the friend or loved one or just person that they are in everyday life. And what I mean by authentic is there is no barrier of separation. What you see is what you get. How you show up one way is how you show up every way. And that's hard for a lot of people because they think that there is a certain role that they have to play or a certain part that they have to fill, that they have to model or emulate someone else or act a certain way. And if it's not true to who you really are and to the core of your character, then it's going to be exhausting. It's going to eventually catch up to you, and there's going to be inconsistencies. So that is the A. B, vulnerable. This is another word that gets thrown around a lot and has really lost the impact of its meaning. But when I say vulnerable, I mean willing to go where not a lot of people are going to go, wanting to fight so hard for the results that you get somebody that you are willing to share your real struggles. That social media, what we put out to the public is not just a highlight reel. You guys may remember the good, the bad, and the ugly. That was a huge vulnerable moment for me. And I'm not talking about manufactured vulnerability. As marketers, we all know how important it is that emotion is attached to what we do. But specifically manipulating someone's emotion, off limits, completely wrong. And in my opinion, it just devalues your integrity. So I'm not talking manufactured vulnerability or figuring out what you can do to make an emotional connection to manipulate someone. I am talking about the real things that make you uncomfortable and being willing to speak up and share them. And it looks different for everybody. But I promise you, and you may even experience this yourself, when you hear somebody talking about something that they struggled with or that they were scared of or that intimidated them, it's refreshing because it's not sugarcoating things. What we do is hard. Entrepreneurialism is hard. Life in general is hard. Show me one person who said they've never struggled a day in their life. And I don't use this word a lot, but I'll probably be looking at a liar. Everyone struggles with something. Some people just hide it better than others. E is evolve. Jamie Cross on her interview shared one of the quotes that it comes up on a daily basis to me. Come as you are, but don't stay there. We were made to evolve, to learn. Like, you're never going to know everything, or that striving perfection is a myth. And we've discussed that it's not necessarily within our reality. But if we commit to evolve and not be the same today as we were yesterday, that's progress. That's inspiring. And that was all I was asking of this group of entrepreneurs who were going through this program with me. So B.R.A.V.E. encompasses the path that we wanted to take, and that evolution and that constant learning. Like, I am a student of life, and I am always learning and seeking to be better. I don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room. I've learned that, and I appreciate that. And I'm so excited to not only share the foundation of B.R.A.V.E. with you, but also pre-frame one of the interviews that we have coming up with Anderson. He is the perfect example of B.R.A.V.E., of that person who went through all of those different levels of belief and the reality, and that authenticity and vulnerability. Like, that interview, like, he was so open and sharing, and then his evolution, like, that is inspiring. So what we have coming up with Preston's interview and what he shares, I want you to look at it through the lens of B.R.A.V.E. Like, where was each evolution for him? And then we're going to come back on the following episode after his interview, and I'll share my 3 takeaways. But the biggest, most important thing in this is to realize that we all have a story. We all have an evolution. There is something that life is molding us and making us to become. And in Preston sharing his story, you can see the shift not only as an individual, but as a husband and a father, and how that foundational shift also translated into the way he changed things in his business. And for me, that is Preston's story is one of the things that encompasses the purpose of Brace for Impact. We're all going through a journey. We're all going through a transformation. And I hope evolving into that better self. So that is what I have for you today. I cannot wait for you to hear the interview with Preston. Please let me know how you enjoy everything, any questions that you may have, and connect with me. Let me know who you would like to hear on the podcast. I have some more incredible interviews lined up. Also are going to continue our principles in impact-driven marketing, and I guess our impromptu campaign to make marketing great again. And I hope that in everything that you say and do in your everyday life, that somehow this inspires you to be that little spark of inspiration for someone else. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I hope you've received value, encouragement, and exactly what you need to help keep you in momentum to grow and impact the world around you. Big or small, we all make a difference. Thanks also for subscribing, downloading, and leaving a review. This helps us reach others who need this message in their life. If you know anyone who would benefit from this podcast, please share so you and I can help more people boldly step into purpose. It is my heart's mission to help and encourage others. My internal belief that a rising tide lifts all ships. So much of what we talk about on the podcast is leading with value and building relationships through service. So we've created a collection of resources for you to continue growing, whether you are just getting started or ready to scale your business. Visit amplifymyimpact.com for show notes, downloads, programs, and more information about how to directly work with our team to amplify your impact and change the world.